In 1932, Australia went to war against birds. And not just any birds, emus. How did Australia lose a war against birds? Let's find out. In 1932, Australia faced an unusual enemy, and it wasn't human. It was a flock of birds. Thousands of them, to be exact. This is the strange, true story of the Great Emu War, where humans armed with machine guns took on emus and lost. The trouble started in Western Australia. Farmers were struggling to protect their crops from an army of emus, large flightless birds that could run fast, eat a lot, and were nearly impossible to catch. These emus were migrating from the coast in search of food and water, and they saw the farmers' crops as an all-you-can-eat buffet. The farmers, desperate for help, turned to the government. The solution? Send in the military with machine guns. Yes, you heard that right. The military was called in to fight birds. Armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition, Major GPW Meredith and his men were ready. They thought it would be a quick operation. How hard could it be to control a bunch of birds? But as it turns out, emus are no easy target. They're fast, agile, and travel in unpredictable directions. The soldiers found that the birds would scatter and regroup, outmaneuvering the military at every turn. When they fired their guns, the emus simply dodged, ran, and kept going. The emus seemed to be winning. After a week of relentless attempts and thousands of rounds fired, Major Meredith reported back, calling the emus remarkably resistant to bullets. In one encounter, after firing hundreds of rounds, the soldiers only managed to take down a handful of birds. The emus were just too resilient, too fast, and too determined. Eventually, the Australian government called off the operation. The military retreated, and the emus, well, they'd won. This war went down in history as a bizarre and embarrassing moment, where a flock of birds outsmarted and outlasted an army. Today, the Great Emu War is remembered as a humorous but humbling reminder. Sometimes, nature does not play by our rules. And sometimes, even the best-laid plans can be foiled by forces we underestimated. So, what can we learn from this? Maybe it's a lesson in respect for the natural world. Or perhaps it's a reminder that brute force isn't always the answer, especially against a determined opponent, even if it's a bird. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more quirky history lessons and strange tales from the past.